Hi, welcome back to Vola Tv. I'm delighted to be joined again this week by Mr. Boyle, our head teacher. Hi Matthew.
Hi Barry, it's been a wee while since I've been a guest on Vola TV.
I'm delighted you're back with us.
Thank goodness.
Delighted.
I thought I was being passed over for all these other Johnny-come-latelys that are all wanting a slot on the programme.
Never. We had a lovely day yesterday, a lovely event in the school yesterday to commemorate a very sad thing. But obviously yesterday was the 11th of November and we had a Remembrance Day celebration in the school yesterday. Can you tell us a wee bit about what went on?
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that's very difficult just now, of course, is that we've got the restrictions in the school around COVID, and I know that nationally that's been a big problem, that people are not going to cenotaphs as they would normally do and laying a wreath. So we tried to do something a little bit more low-key and distanced. So we had a reading, which I know you did the bulk of, which was absolutely beautiful, of some memorial information around the armistice and the end of the war, and just reminding young people who may begin to feel it's a little distant now, about just what tremendous sacrifice some people made, and that they were just people like you and I that just happened to be the wrong age, the wrong place at the wrong time, and lost everything, So it was nice to get that read out, and we had it over the school tannoy.
That's right.
And a minute silence, but then we had two of our first years, Katie and Reese.
That's right. Who
did a beautiful job, very very appropriate, lovely job of simply placing the wreaths next to our old board of old boys from the school who were lost in the wars. So it was actually very lovely, and I think everyone in the school was affected by and I think that's a good thing. We're certainly not going to forget quickly, and schools I think are good at using it as a learning opportunity, and I know classrooms all across the building will have been talking about what this meant and why it was important. So.
The thing I really wanted to get across yesterday was the actually this wasn't a remote thing. Everywhere you go in Scotland you see war memorials. It really was a seismic event. The number of young people who died really was awful, and it's worth reminding young people about the sacrifices that were made, even though it's 102 years now. It's still worth making that point.
Absolutely. So one of the things though that would be nice to say about that is that we normally sell poppies in the school.
That's right,
This year that didn't happen. Now I can't say I know exactly why, but I know it was COVID related. A lot of that activity has stopped. And that means that there would be some charitable income for the Earl Haig poppy appeal.
That's right,
that didn't happen. So after yesterday, I know that a couple of staff decided that we should put the Poppy Fund appeal button on our Facebook page. So you'll find a wee post there, and you'll see Katie and Reese placing the wreaths, and it would be a wee chance if you feel you could even just spare a wee pound. It would be nice, just as most people would have done traditionally, putting a pound or two in to get the poppy. Maybe we could do it virtually. I know that I went online and did exactly.
I noticed a few parents did that last night, so thank you for that. That
very much appreciated.
Generous.
It's good that we all try and do the best we can. Everyone's having a hard time just now, and we understand that a lot of people can't give, but if you can, it's a lovely thing to do, and it would help some people that will really need that help.
Great, and moving on to another topic, but it's something that's certainly in a lot of people's minds at the moment. We've got a wee bit of information about assessment, and as you know, assessment will be different this year given the COVID situation, and the Scottish Government announced a few weeks back that the assessments for National 5 would be different this year, but that affects what we're doing in the school, because usually we run a diet of interim assessments, what we used to call prelims, in December, at the beginning of December, but things will be a wee bit different this year.
They will, and we apologise here because people that are wanting updates from the school who have got people in S1 to 3 won't be directly affected by this, but they'll still be interested, I'm sure, in how the school's doing. This year for National 5 we need to take that separately. We know that John Swinney, our Cabinet Secretary for Education and Deputy First Minister, has cancelled the exams this year for National 5 only. So there are no National 5 exams, and staff in the school will be running either internal assessments or perhaps occasionally interim assessments, what we used to call prelim exams. and they will be happening any time from December onwards. So that'll be down to the different subjects, and just in case that sounds a bit vague, parents in our community should know that the Qualifications Authority are putting out lots of information up to the 19th of November, and different subject areas will be reading that information and deciding on the basis of what's being asked for final assessment evidence what would be best for their subject. So don't be surprised if it turns out that it becomes a relatively changeable target, but basically it starts as a possibility in November. In December, and we'll go right through to probably February or March even. But the important thing is that for most subjects now, it's about gathering lots of evidence as they go along, because it's a continuous assessment model. One thing we know is they're looking for something like 4 really top pieces of work from young people, the evidence that it wasn't done by someone else, that it's done in class, that it shows that young people are applying their learning in as wide and flexible a way as possible. So you and I think, have been accused before of being attendance hounds on this little programme.
That's right, yeah.
So we're going to do it again. We're on the trail again, So what this means is, if you're going to, at the end of the year, be asked whether you deserve a particular grade that the teachers have claimed for you from Scottish Qualifications Authority. If I get that right, is it authority or agency? It's one of my hang-ups. Authority, yeah. So if I know now that you ask it, it's sometimes confusing, isn't it? But if we're asked for grades, what it will come down to is the evidence, and our teachers are running around crazy, making sure they're putting in place quality assessment in the class all the time. And while I'm going to say it again, we know some people sometimes have to isolate, etc. in the current climate, and we totally encourage that. That's the right thing to do. If there's any way at all that you can reasonably be in school otherwise, you must be in school, because the teachers planned an assessment. It's there for the 18 students that are in the class that day. If only 12 of them are there because 2 or 3 of them had a sniffle and just couldn't quite face it, then that's a teacher having to chase those people to get them to reset assessments, even perhaps after they've moved on to a new topic, and you won't then score as well. So it's all lose, So we've been doing really well with our attendance, a couple of % improvement over the couple of years.
We have. I think we're 89.5% today, and it's not quite where we want it to be yet, but it's demonstrating an upward improvement over the past 2 or 3 years, which is great, really, isn't it? It's down to you. It's down to you at home, and it's down to students really taking responsibility for their learning. But I suppose to summarise there, then we've got National 4 and National 5 will be internally assessed. We know that. So we want students in. We really do want students in, because there will be those internal assessments, and we want to make sure that we've got that good quality evidence. Higher and advanced higher, things are a wee bit different, aren't they? We'll still have prelims or interim assessments in February.
Absolutely, yeah. Now there's a caveat with this, but basically this is more like the traditional model. We believe that exams are still going to run, although John Swinney has said that by the end of February, if there is going to be a change of heart about that and it's decided for any reason that the exam diet can't run, then they'll let us know by then. So in the meantime, we will be running interim assessments, what we used to call prelims again, and that diet will be planned and published probably in about next month and a half, and we'll have that information. In fact, it may even be as late as as late as January, start of January, but we'll have a diet. It starts on the 2 in-service days that are in February.
10th and the 15th, I think.
Well done, that's good. And those in-service days, we will be asking students to come in to sit their English and their maths, hires and advanced hires. That's so that we can space people out and have the school quiet to do that, because it's very hard to get large numbers of students like we have for maths and English to be in an exam room and have a lot of space. So we're going to do that then, and then over the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll have our own internal Vale Leven Academy exam diet, and that will all be done within probably 2.5 weeks.
Great, okay, so assessments are going to be a part of the school year, as they always are. Work hard and be here.
I did say though that there was a little proviso there.
Oh, of course.
The proviso, of course, is that we have no way of guaranteeing that those exams will happen this year. I think you and I at this point believe they will.
We do, yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't be putting any money on it as a as a betting person, which I'm not. There's every chance that things could go wrong. So at that point, we'll fall back on continuous assessment. it's the attendance hounds again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So be here to be assessed, because there's going to be lots of continual assessment or continuous assessment, and it's in every student's interest, it's every family's interest that you're here as much as you can possibly be to make sure that you're doing that work. So that's the assessment story for this year.
Great, okay, and we'll provide further updates on Vola TV as and when we've got them. So exciting times ahead, challenging times ahead, and resilience will be a big part of that.
Absolutely.
We also want to talk a wee bit about where we are in terms of local authority with coronavirus. Now, I know you had a bit of an appeal for our families.
Yes, we're always wary about talking yet again about coronavirus. You know, we don't want the school to be defined by coronavirus, but I think parents and families in the community will understand that we need to update them about this. And one of the things that we wanted to ask is that where someone is given a positive test for COVID-19 and they attend our school, once or twice we've come across the problem that people take time before they phone us to tell us about this. Now, as you will imagine, people hear from lots of different routes about test and protect and tracing, and sometimes we'll assume that the school knows, but sometimes it might be a day before the school is told. And that's a day in which we can make sure that anyone who's been in any contact with someone with a positive diagnosis, we can really thoroughly trace and make sure that anyone who's been associated closely, according to the definitions we have to work to, would be asked to go home and isolate and start doing their work from home and at home at that point.
Really helps us the sooner we know.
So basically, as soon as any parent knows, while doing whatever other work you are on test and protect work, please, as soon as you can, call the school and let us know about it, and we will act in the school as quickly as possible.
Great, okay, alright, so make sure the school's top of your list for phone calls.
Absolutely. Right. And on that note, as ever, we're still pushing the whole issue the government's asked us to push about young people wearing face coverings and trying to keep distance from each other as much as they can.
Absolutely.
And we just we want to reiterate that this is still important to us, and we're still pushing it, and we're kind of nags on that as well, and it tires us as well, but we're doing it because we know Western Bartonshire's in the tier 3 category just now, and I understand that last week, in fact, there were 12% more cases in Western Bartonshire, and basically, in a nutshell, we don't want Vale of Leven Academy to be contributing to that. We want it to be contributing to a downward trend. So we really want your support in this. The school's business for us is teaching and learning 98% of the time, but some of the time we're still wasting our time on chasing this issue, and we want young people to come in completely focused on the learning and ready to wear their face coverings and keep their distance and be really cooperative in that, as they almost all are.
Absolutely,
So thank you for that, and let's push to get the last few on this one.
Great. Alright, well, thank you very much again for joining us on Vola TV. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Matthew.
Look forward to it, and thanks for having me on the programme again this week, Barry.
My pleasure.
See you soon.
Thank you.